Good afternoon, everybody. Phil Simons with Columbia Grain here and your Friday afternoon weekly grain market recap. Well, we got another week in the books here, but we had some massive explosive fireworks once again to start the week, but we ended on kind of a muted point here. So let's go ahead and jump right into it. And I'm going to share my screen with you once again here. We'll navigate to our favorite website, columbiagrain.com. And again, over on the upper right-hand corner, we can navigate over to the Producer Solutions link. And let's take a look and see what some of the driving factors were and how the week ended up here this week. But on Monday, again, we really did wake up to some fresh headlines coming out of the Russian-Ukraine war that Russia had attacked some warehouses on the Danube River, causing some 30-plus grain vessels to actually stop and drop anchor. And really, as a result, the wheat futures rallied close to limit up on Monday, which would have been 60 cents higher on Monday because of all the headlines that were coming out right out of the gate there. Really, when we got to about Tuesday and Wednesday to follow things up, there was really little follow-up there throughout the week. So we did see the futures really start to retreat pretty quickly on Tuesday and followed up strongly on Wednesday once again, as there was just not a lot of follow through to get us through midweek. But if we take a look and see what the actual ranges were on the week here to close, we can see over on Dees corn, the weekly range was we had 47 cents on an overall range there. The weekly change, we actually were down 13 cents when the dust settled here today in Dees corn. Next up, we take a look at Nove beans. We see that the weekly range there was 56 cents, but we actually closed the week with a net loss of down 28 cents in the futures markets there. Next up, taking a look at the wheat complex. Kansas Dees actually had another massive range of 81 cents, but the net weekly change was zero. So we actually closed right where we opened up on Monday. When we take a look at Chicago, the weekly range there was, again, a big 85 cents, but the weekly change, we're actually able to hold on to only a 7-cent gain in Chicago. And finally, when we take a look at Minneapolis, we see that the weekly range was 62 cents there. And the net change on the week was we gained 10 cents when the dust settled here this week. So again, just really taking a look at the overall volatility that we continue to see. There were some reports out actually again this morning when we opened that there had been some missiles that were actually shot down close to some Russian ports as well, which did actually bring the futures up off the lows that we saw earlier in the day, where we were trading down 25 to almost 30 cents in Chicago and Kansas City, and they did come rallying back to be up about 10 cents. But then when the dust settled here today, wheats really were down 8 to 10 cents on the day. Corn was down 10 and beans were down 15 to 20. So again, just the overall volatility that we continue to see coming from the headlines and coupled with the weather that we're seeing in the U.S., the volatility is just getting more and more magnified every time that we look at it. The other thing of note here this week was that the North Dakota wheat tour for spring wheat that had yield coming in at, for estimates anyway, at 47.4 bushel to the acre, which really would be a little bit lower than where it was last year, but still well ahead of the 5-year average, which the 5-year average is coming in at 40.1 bushel to the acre in terms of the estimates anyhow. So again, just taking a look to see what the potential yield is going to be in North Dakota for spring wheat. Looks pretty good to start here. Next up, the only other thing, I mean, we continue to look at the weather. There's warm and dry conditions continue to really hit the majority of the corn belt. We do see some potential relief coming next week. So the threat is pretty low for the time being here. But we're going to continue to just see really high sensitivity to the overall weather in the U.S. and plus the Black Sea events, you know, as they continue to unfold. So again, just be sure to get your orders out there and working because these knee-jerk reactions that we continue to see in the markets are just primed to take advantage of when we actually start to see them. The other thing is take a look at some of the accumulator contracts that we have. The ones that are really sticking out like a sore thumb right now are new crop soybeans. Some numbers are really good right now when we take a look at the overall flat price and just the futures prices as well. So take a look at those, get your orders out there and working. Other than that, we're really going to just wrap everything up for the week. Hope everybody has a great weekend. And remember, for every expert that says the market's going up, there's one that says that the market's going down. Have a great weekend, everybody. We'll talk with you next week.